And now I will give the floor to our first speaker, Alexandre Baures. He's gonna present you the viewer.
Yes, hello, Andrea. Hello to everyone. So let's share my screen. Up. Is everything perfect?
Yes, perfect.
All right. So hello, everyone. I'm Alexandre from the WEkEO user support. And today we will talk about the WEkEO viewer. So let's meet on the first page, wekeo.eu. Here you can register with this button. Create a WEkEO account allow you to have access to many tools and more importantly, to download data. So to register and to create an account is totally free. You just have to click on this button and complete this form. So we will meet now on the WEkEO data viewer. We will see how to search for data you're interested in. We will see how to subset and download data. And I will show you all the tools to familiarize yourself with the WEkEO data viewer. So let's click on the data button. Here we are on the WEkEO viewer. So if it's the first time you meet this page, you will have two layers displayed on the map. And if you want to search for a specific data, you can click on the plus button here. From there, you have on the right all the dataset available. You have a thumbnail that shows you the data that you will display. You have the name of the dataset and a quick description of the dataset. A new feature is that is this icon, this eye icon. If you can see this one, that will show you that this dataset can be viewed on the map. But for example, if you have something like this, we have 69 layers that can be displayed. So it's just a quick information that you will not can view this data directly on the map. On the left, you have all the filters. You have a search box. From there, you can search dataset with keywords, or you can use directly the dataset ID to search the data you want. Then you have many filters like the Copernicus services, the platform, the area, and many tags. And for today, we will choose a CLMS land dataset with the tag vegetation. So there we have now 8 datasets that match our filters. And we will choose for today the vegetation and phenology and productivity, which is a yearly dataset. And this is a UTM projection. So you have two buttons, one to add the layer on the map and one to see the details of this dataset. So here we have for some of dataset a use case. This show you what you can do with this data. This can give you some applications, and yeah, you can browse this this use case to see what you can do with this. Then you have the abstract and many information like the dataset ID, the Copernicus service, the area. You have access to the metadata, and you can contact people with all these context links. And here you have the geographical extent of the data available. And today we will add this dataset to our map. Here we have all the layers that we can add. So for each of them, you have to add it on the map. And today we will choose the total productivity season 1 layer. We will click to add to map. Then we close this window with the cross button, or you can click everywhere else outside the window. So here we have the layer that we added. You can show it or not on the map with the I button. So I will mask the two layers like this. You can zoom in and zoom out with your mouse scroll. Then you have a timescale at the bottom of your screen. Here it's a yearly dataset, so there is one data by year. So if I go to 2019, the values update themselves. Then you have at the bottom right many tools like the locate button that allow you to place a point on the map. This gives you the coordinates of this point. Then you have the measure tool to draw a line and get the distance between as many point as you want. You can press escape to exit the tool like this. And then you have the set UI tool that allow you to draw a bounding box on the map. This will be useful if you want to subset your data for the next step. This will download data only in the bounding box you draw. So I keep this bounding box here. And then you have the setting button to show or not the base map or the coastline and reference features. You can change the units from kilometer to miles, and same for the area. And you have the WEkEO credits. And now I will talk about the button that you can see for each of the layer. I will talk about those of seawater velocity because there is more buttons. So I will show you more things. So there, this dataset, you can see one first thing is that you have a depth scale at the bottom right to display the data at the depth you want. So for today, I will put it like this. So first button is to subset and download the data. So I will click on it just after. The information button to go on this page, the page we see before with the abstract and many informations. You have the layer button to change the layer display on the map so you can have access to the other variables for this dataset. Then you have the setting button to change the opacity of the layer. This can be useful if you want to compare two datasets or you want to overlap the values. You can change the opacity. And you can change the color map. So if you want something more explicit, if the default one is not the best, you can change right here. And you can change the value to logarithmic values with this button. And you have the vector button to display the vectors. This, as I said, have a vector button, but some of them don't have. And the resolution of the vectors adapt with the zoom. So the more you zoom, the more the resolution is. And now we will see how to download the data. So let's go back on the total productivity dataset. Let's click on download. So as I said at the beginning, if you want to download data, you will have to connect to your WEkEO account. If you don't have one, it's free and you can click on create an account at the bottom right here. So let's connect like this. So here we have all the parameters to create our download. So let's just zoom on the bounding box. So the bounding box can be created manually by entering all the coordinates for each pause, but you can copy the AI we drew on the map before by clicking on this button. So this will allow you to download data on this bounding box. Then you can enter the temporal interval to search. You can enter it manually, or you can choose a date from the calendar, or you can copy the date you select at the bottom, like here, the start of the year, like this. And if you want to As I said, it's a yearly dataset, so let's choose a date 2020 copy from layer. So there we have 2 dates from where we want to download data. And we have more parameters, but these parameters are not mandatory. If I want to show you, mandatory parameters have a red asterisk at their right. So for this dataset, nothing is mandatory. So if you want to download everything, you can put nothing and request your data. So for today, we will choose only these parameters. Then you have 2 buttons, one to show the API request, like this. So the API request can be useful if you want to, for example, automate your data, download a lot of data. You can copy this API request and use our HDA API client. You can have many information in our article on what is the HDA API client and how to use it. In this article, you will see how to use your query you create on our viewer and how to request your data and then how to download the data you search in your local directory. So this article is available on our Help Center. You can access our Help Center from the WEkEO homepage by clicking on the support button, and there you have the Help Center. So if you want, you can browse the Help Center. If you have a question, maybe first take a look at the Help Center. Maybe you will find the information you want. And if you still have questions, you can contact us by the widget at the bottom right and send us a message. And if you want, you can also send us a message via the support interface and here create your message. So let's get back to the API request. The API request can also be used to share your requests with us if you encounter some issues. So we can reproduce your issues with your API request, and then we can investigate your problem. So keep in mind that the API request exists and that you have the HDA API client to automate to do things with your downloads. Let's get back to the downloads. Just let me recreate the request like this. So now we will request our data. Let's click on this. Now the request is successfully, and you can create a new request or monitor your request. Monitor request will bring us to the jobs tab. So let's click on this. And from there, you have the request you have made. You have the date at which you made the request, the hour, and the status of the request, which is now completed. But if you make a more important request, the status can be running for several minutes. If it take too longer, it may be due to an issue, so don't hesitate to contact us. You have a button to show the API request. This can be useful if you want to remember what request you made, because in the jobs tab you have the history of your requests. So here we can see that we draw a bounding box with these dates, etc. So you can see what request you made. And here we have the folder icon to show all the results we can download for this request. You have 12 results, and for each of them we can order the request. So you can click on each of them and download with this button locally on your computer, like this. We don't have, oh, it's in me out, so let's just sign in. You don't have a button to download all the data at once, so that's why THG API client can be a solution for you. If you have a large request, you can download all of them with one command line. So if you are interested, you can use it. And that's it. Yeah, I think I said what I want. So you have the widget at the bottom right. If you have some questions or issues, click on message and we will be glad to answer all of them. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Alexandre. That was very
You're
nice.
welcome. Thank you.
We do have a few questions for you already.
Yeah.
The first one, so if you, you would have to, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't know if you're aware of
Yeah.
this difference. What
Yeah,
is
I
it?
have the question with some users. Season 1, Season 2. So it's just a difference that made the provider with their data because it's there is 2 seasons of growing in harvest and in agriculture. So they split the data in 2 seasons. You can access the manual of the data to the provider site, which is CLMS. You will find a solution, but don't hesitate to contact me directly on WEkEO. I will answer more precisely.
And next one, all these products are available for global region. And if we want to download the product, is it possible to download the vector data as well?
I think if you want to download the data, you will have to download everything. And once you have your files, you will have access to the vector data. I don't think you can split your download before this step. I don't know if
Okay. Yeah,
he was
directly on the
question.
viewer,
Yeah. I
select
think you can
the
just select the vector data.
Okay. Oh, my screen is going. Sorry. Oh, more like a general question. Yes, the presentations are going to be available maybe today, the one of yesterday, maybe today. Yeah, the one of today, maybe next week, but we will make them available as soon as possible. This one. And if I want to request by API, is it possible to run in Python software, or is it only possible to run it in WEkEO Jupyter Hub and the data we need to run this code?
No, it's possible to run it locally in Python. It's just that WEkEO Jupyter have an environment where all the packages are already installed, but it's the HDA Python client can be installed with a pipe. So yeah, you can create your local environment and use the HDA API. So WEkEO Jupyter is not mandatory.
Yeah. Do we already have maybe an article explaining
Yeah,
how
I
helps
think
you?
we have in our HDA article. I think we suggest you don't to use the WEkEO Jupyter Hub, but I think we propose to install it locally.
Okay.
But yeah, contact me if you encounter issues or have questions.
Okay. So more in your opinion, if I was planning on starting a project in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, what would you recommend?
I don't know what you're looking for, but you can, I think, search for data that are available in your country. And I don't know, I think there is many possibilities.
Mm.
All depends on what data you are looking for.
Yes, I agree. I don't know if you would be able to answer
Yeah,
this because
I see it.
it's a bit specific reason, but yeah. Why are there many data sets not visible? Specifically.
WEkEO, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
WEkEO work with many providers, and we just not just, but we globalize all the data on WEkEO, and it's sometimes hard to display the WEkEO the data we receive from providers on our viewer. So some data are more easily integrable on the
Yeah,
viewer,
yeah. That's very
and
true.
some of them we just can't display them.
Mm-hmm.
I think the the more important data sets are viewable, and if they are not, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe later. We don't know.
Is it a matter of format or sometimes they're just too
Yeah, format.
big?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Mm. They're still accessible, it's just not
Yeah,
visible,
not
right?
viewable, but downloadable. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Great. Uh, oh, so is this product available only daily, on a daily basis or daily data set?
Yeah,
We have
I think
monthly or year.
the one I choose is a yearly data set, but if uh, if I remember, we have a data set for the features I choose, and there is a monthly and a daily, if I remember correctly. So yeah, just for the presentation that I show yearly, but I think you will find the daily data set.
Mhm. Um, Another one. What is the logarithm function for while clicking?
Yeah, it's just to transform
Yeah, option.
the values from I don't remember, but from 0 to yeah 0 what voilà, yeah 0 to maybe 2, but you can transform it to logarithm, so it goes from 1 to 0,
Mm-hmm.
just to change the scale. It can be useful
To see
just
certain variables, you kind of need to change
yeah,
your scale, right, to be a little
yeah.
bit more visible.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Um, and another one. Could you tell what is the product identifier when we set the parameters to download for downloading?
If I understand correctly, for this data set, the product ID can be found here, dataset ID.
Sorry,
Um,
I think so.
yeah, and you can also find it there with the API request. You have
Mhm.
dataset ID that enter automatically there. What I recommend is to create your request on the WEkEO viewer, because this will create the format of the request which is appropriate to the HDA API. So if you want to, for example, add the product identifier, and this will format your parameters into this cell, so you will avoid many errors. Um, and yeah, for your answer, the dataset ID is here or in the API request.
And the last question. So I think it's the same person who has asked before
Yeah,
about the
yeah, yeah. The
now
net
I don't know
change.
if the product you showed, if we have any data on West Africa, for example.
This one, which I choose, is an
The different,
European,
right? Yeah,
so I think this one might not be useful, but mm, yeah, I'm not aware of all the datasets.
sure.
Yeah, just browse our catalog,
Mm.
choose an area where you maybe a global area, and filter about what you're looking for. Maybe use tags. If you're talking about land change, maybe choose a land dataset, and I
Mhm.
think you will find
Explore.
to look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
really invite you to explore the
Mhm.
catalog.
Yeah.
We don't know from the top of our head from every region, but
Yeah,
really
exactly.
exploring. If you don't find a data set that you're looking for or a region,
Yeah.
maybe you can contact us and we can also
Contact us.
direct you. Okay. That's all questions
All right.
today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye-bye.